Hello there, I'm Nick Roach for SBC Sports. Here along with my co-hosts Toby and Michael, we're going to be talking about the NFL today. And we'll start with Toby. What are your thoughts on the NFC?
Well, I think the favorites in the NFC this year, as was last year, is San Francisco and Seattle. It's a shame they play in the same division because they're the two best teams in the NFC. One has to go through the wild card route and one will win the division. Not sure who. I think you could see teams like Washington make a run at the playoffs this year in a weak NFC East. Also, teams like Atlanta having a bounce-back season and contending for a playoff spot. But ultimately, I think that the Saints and the Panthers are the other two teams to watch coming in and contending in the NFC. And, in the NFC North as well, I feel like the Packers, it's their division to win, and everybody else is kind of a mediocre side.
Some good insight. What are your thoughts on the NFC, Michael?
Well, the NFC definitely boasts some good contenders. Packers, Giants, 49ers, and the obvious contenders being the Seahawks, last year's Super Bowl champions. I would have to say if it comes down to the wire, it's going to be Seattle versus San Francisco again for the NFC title. Unless, of course, there's a sudden change and like the Packers make a run or another team does. Not sure who yet, but I'm sure it'll probably be something along the lines maybe of the Panthers, maybe of the Saints, depending on how the NFC plays out.
I would say those are the two favorites, but we'll see how things play out. Toby, what are your thoughts on the AFC?
Well, I think the favorite in the AFC this year has to be the New England Patriots. They've improved so much in the defensive side of the ball, and plus they have a very easy schedule. There's a couple tough games in there, like at Kansas City and at Green Bay, but they should power through and come out with a 13-3, maybe a 12-4 record. You look at Indianapolis, they have the easiest schedule in the entire league, and they will do very well down in a weak AFC South, my mistake. The Broncos will be there as well, but you could see the Broncos maybe slip to a 3 seed instead of the 2 seed with Indy having a very easy schedule. Cincinnati will be there too. The wild card spots are up for grabs this year. I think you could see Houston improve but not really contend for it, and Pittsburgh and Baltimore will always be there.
That's a good comment right there. Michael, what are your thoughts on the AFC?
Well, the Patriots are obviously better contenders than they were last year, with the Broncos having one of the better offenses in the AFC, sorry. I'm not so sure if they're ready to actually win the Super Bowl. I can see the Patriots going to the Super Bowl. I can see other teams going to the Super Bowl this year based upon the acquisitions made, the draft picks, Pittsburgh. What else is there?
Baltimore's got a pretty good shot.
Oh yeah, Baltimore, of course. They've always been pretty good. Former Super Bowl champs. Perhaps, maybe they'll be able to get back into the AFC Championship. But obviously, it's all about the Patriots, all the acquisitions they've made, and the fact that they've got the best shot at getting into the Super Bowl. I'm not saying they'll win, but they have the best shot, as opposed to the second best probably being the Broncos, third best being the Ravens.
All right, Super Bowl predictions. Who do you have in it and who do you have winning?
For me, I think it's going to be Patriots versus Seahawks. It's going to come down to the wire. I'm not so sure who would win, but my pick is on the Patriots. They have the better team this year, hopefully. Hopefully it'll be enough to break that Seahawks defense that has been so good for them.
Toby, what are your thoughts
I think
on that?
It's the Patriots conference to lose this year. I think they'll get there. And I feel like San Francisco has a number on Seattle this year. They played them closer than any other team in the playoffs did last year, and I feel like they scrape it out in the NFC Championship this year. That being said, New England, San Francisco, New England kind of matches up poorly against hybrid quarterbacks like Colin Kaepernick, and I would ultimately take the San Francisco 49ers to win the Super Bowl.
That's all the time we have for today, folks. From SBC, I'm Nick with Toby and Michael signing off.